各位觀眾大家好，今日咧我好開心喺趙德威醫生嘅辦公室。趙醫生咧係一個世界名醫，同一樣喺佢身上咧就有住傳統嘅中國歷史，因為佢係宋朝皇帝第31代嘅子孫。佢有住秉承住我哋中國人嘅血統為驕傲，然後喺美國創出佢嘅一片天空。今日我同大家一齊嚟探訪一下趙醫生，睇佢有啲乜嘢可以同我哋分享。唔該晒你，趙醫生。
You're welcome.
Dr. Chiu, you have such a legacy in American surgery history, I would say that. And looks like from your family background that you're like a golden boy. Okay, so can you share with us your experience or your life?
Well, I always consider myself a very blessed life, and I have received plenty of blessings. Maybe because I feel in some way that I'm kind of lucky in a lot of sense. I do have a very positive outlook.
Dr. Chiu, being the 31st generation of the Song Dynasty's king, you have a many legacy by yourself. Can you share with us your life and your experience at the U.S.?
It's more than half a century's history. But to summarize it briefly, I would say it's a journey of enlightenment, and also a journey of sharing. To begin with, I think more than anything is what I learned, what I've studied, that helped to sustain my sense of honor to be a Chinese. Since I was a little boy, I was fortunate enough I received very strict education in history, family history, Song's history, Chinese history, American history, and history of the world. My father is a very, very well-educated historian and a scholar.
So knowledge is very important. So all these years you try to help the Chinese feel proud of our Chinese culture in here.
Interesting enough, at the very beginning, I was just a happy child. I didn't even have that in mind. I must say that what I learned gave me a lot of confidence and a lot of respect of my own culture, of my heritage, and also that gave me a lot of confidence. As I go through my whole career, I just act as myself. I didn't particularly, do something just to break a ceiling or anything like that.
But you do have a legacy of breaking the ceilings.
I think my break a barrier was when I was in the medical school. I have the fortune to enroll into Columbia, PNS.
You must be a very, very good student.
I was pretty good. And in my third year, I was elected as vice president of the student body organizations called the PNS Club.
So you don't have the stereotype of Chinese student only study and doesn't participate?
No, I was very active. And in those days, not only being the Chinese American is kind of like a novelty, but being a student from Missouri, in fact, was a novelty. By the time I get to my senior year in medical school, I become the president, and I received a tremendous high percentage of vote, I remember, during the election. And I did a good job in terms of reforming the whole structure of the pianist club. The changes they made, a lot of them remain in effect today. That is something is rather unusual in those days, being only one, maximum two Asian American students in the class. That is something I feel very, very proud of. And then next barrier, I believe I was the first full professor in surgery at Columbia.
Wow.
I believe I was the first chairman in plastic surgery at Columbia, succeeding Dr. Webster, Stevenson, Crickley, Tom Krisick, and Nam Hugo.
Oh, before you go on, let me ask you, how long take you from to become a professor? Because usually you will take years.
I took a few years. But I was fortunate because when I worked at NYU in the 80s, when I left NYU and then rejoined Columbia, I had an academic rank of assistant professor, which is common in those days. You served that rank for a long time. But I fortunately have a very supportive faculty and a very astute promotion committee and committee of appointment at Columbia. After they're reviewing my dossier, instead of promoting me to the next rank, which is associate professor, I was promoted to a full professor.
So is there any detour in your career day?
Oh yes. As I mentioned, career is always like a sine wave, there's up and downs. I did feel I was down, particularly during the time, during my tenure as chairman of plastic surgery at Columbia. But the fact is, I consider that a detour, because throughout the whole process, I remain what I am. I uphold my personal value. Under the most strict scrutiny, I was proven to be honorable. That is something I'm very proud of.
Dr. Chiu, I like your office. It doesn't seem like a doctor's office, but like a gallery with, of course, with a lot of your wall.
Well, interesting you mentioned that, because this office actually originally was designed as an art gallery. I become the occupant actually following another physician, but I personally redesigned the interior setup of the whole office.
It is very nice done. So that means I always say that you have a lot of gift in different area.
I would tell you an interesting story about that, but I would say that's the only artist I can afford.